this most critical cause
Hasanabi
Hasanabi
on stream quite a bit, but I feel like it warrants its own video in order to dive deeper into the meat of the subject. And that's police chases. I'm sure most of you have realized
yes.
police chases have been exploding online in terms of
True.
frequency and general popularity. It's kind of grown into a very popular sport to watch. I imagine it's primed to
Yep.
overthrow baseball as America's pastime within the next year or so if it
Just
continues
100%.
watching
at the breakneck
casually.
pace it's going at. And even as I'm recording this video right now, there is a live police chase happening with 109,000 viewers with people in the chat going hog wild like they're watching the Super Bowl. Now, I hope you don't mind if I do a little quick
It's
Dora the
hunting
Explorer
nowadays.
moment here, take a page out of her playbook. Can you
Especially
guess
in
where this police
LA.
chase is happening? That's right, LA.
Damn.
While police chases
There you
aren't
go.
exclusive to LA, they have found their home there. There are more police chases in LA than there are in GTA 5. This
Wrong. There are more police chases in LA than there are in GTA 6, though, which is correlation and causation.
Okay.
GTA 6 is the main reason why police chases are happening in Los Angeles. GTA 5 is Los Angeles,
fucking
though.
place breeds police chases. It has become like the #1 hobby
The
people
new
engage in.
GTA 6.
I don't know if I've just been oblivious to how common this shit is, or if it's only been growing in popularity over the last few years, but I decided to look up some stats. And according to the most recent numbers I can find, in 2020, there are 2,200 police chases in LA alone for that year, which
Yeah, recorded. On average, is about 6 chases per day. Most of these police chases never make it on the broadcast television, but some chases are watched by thousands.
averages out to about 6 police chases per day. Now, I don't know if they were all streamed back then, but they are now. And thank heavens
Yes,
for
they
that.
were.
I imagine.
So the thing is, Los Angeles makes
What?
Los Angeles
Yeah.
is the perfect opportunity or perfect city for a police chase. Obviously, because there's a lot of poverty
I
and
thought
there's a
this
lot of income inequality, which creates a unique
stream.
opportunity for crime. Obviously, that is a, that's part and parcel with how the entire universe works. Is like literally just one of the basic parts of how crime is married to the socioeconomic conditions people exist in. But the reason for why LA historically and uniquely has been a great place for police chases, a great city for police chases, is not because, it's Tinseltown, baby. It's Hollywood sugar tits. No, it's because it has low buildings and it's like usually sunny. And we have a lot of fucking helicopters that fly over for that reason. And you can get like
there are a lot of
perfect coverage
resources. That's why.
for police chases in and of itself. Now, you can also do it in places like Texas. I just don't know why they don't do it in places like Texas, because Texas also hits those exact same markers. Marat said Texas cops aren't pussies. That's probably why. Is that why, Marat?
Okay.
He's joking, by the way.
What does it have to do with anything?
Texas has tall buildings. Yeah, but Texas has a lot of space in between those tall buildings in the same way that LA does with respect to like the highways, the freeways. You know what I mean? So I think that that's probably what it is. They ban police chases in my state. What does that even mean? I don't know.
Imagine
Anyway,
whoever pitched that idea right now is being hoisted up on the shoulders of all of these news channel execs right now and just celebrated, because this has become a huge source for viewership for them. The videos do extremely well in views, and the streams have massive viewership as well. So it's definitely generating big like revenue for these channels, I would guess. And it's also become a source of unforgettable goofiness in a lot of cases.
A northbound turn onto Cortlandt Avenue. Another suspect jumping out. Running for it. They're going to take him into custody in short order here, and the driver is continuing once again. So now 3 people have jumped out of this vehicle, and the driver continuing the pursuit.
Yeah, your eyes don't deceive you. This is a real human being, a living, breathing, sentient organism that actually tried the NPC strat, where he gets out of the car and pretends to just...
I mean, that's pretty good.
Just be a pedestrian. He actually went for some kind of Assassin's Creed tactic here to blend into the crowd.
I respect it.
But there was no crowd and the police were right behind them, so they literally saw him leave the car. But god damn it, it was worth giving it a whirl.
Yeah,
and
what if it did work?
Think
about the content.
This was a police chase from last night. Not only is it clearly
so you can see
entertaining for moments like
the
this, but I
networks.
legitimately do think it's actually valuable in terms of education to teach people to never end up in situations like this. Watching the madness unfold live, I actually do think would have some people second guessing bad decisions. But to dive a bit deeper, the footage we just watched comes from ABC7, who's kind of cemented themselves as the big boys on the block when it comes to police chase coverage. They're like the NFL red zone of police chases. They're always among the first on the scene, and the guy you heard doing the play-by-play commentary is like the John Madden here of casting police chases. His
pretty
name's
popular,
Chris.
yeah.
Dude's a fucking legend. He gets super hyped during these things as well and just lets out actual giddy excitement sometimes when broadcasting it. So they just,
It's bothering me that he has this thing right in front of his camera. Like, it's like killing me a little bit. What the fuck's going on there?
It's a fantastic combo. They're a great team. I'm convinced Chris even lives in the helicopter that they broadcast from because he is always ready at the drop of a hat to follow a police chase around. But what I actually want to talk about isn't just, police chases and how entertaining they are to watch sometimes. It's actually to talk about something very different. Since I've watched quite a few police chases and have enjoyed the ones I've seen, people are under the impression that I like to watch them live as they're unfolding. I want to be on the front lines and catch all of the action as it's happening. So I'll have a lot of people come into my Twitch streams and start alerting me to the fact that another chase is going on, trying to get me to watch it. Kind of like
I think what he's about to say is correct. It does get really fucking annoying when I'm doing something else and people are like, dude, crime time.
He's
But it's
watching
like, there are going to be instances where I'm not going to fucking turn around and like literally cover the police chase. And it's not because like I have some ethical considerations towards it. I am pro-crime. I love crime in general. But it's mostly because it's a fucking nuisance. Like, trying to do some other shit.
Like a fucking Amber Alert sounding like letting me know, Charles, police chase. Stop everything and watch it. It's go time. But here's the reality of it. I don't like watching police chases live. And the reason for that is very simple. Because the police chases I like to watch are the ones that don't end in tragedy with like someone dying or some shit. I watch the ones that have very silly endings where the whole thing is very goofy and no one ends up getting like...
I like the ones where they get away. That's my favorite. Like,
does it happen?
Especially if it's like not a super serious crime.
Really?
I'm a fan of that. You gotta root. You gotta root for the underdog.
Like seriously injured or anything like that. I don't like the ones that end with someone dying or other people getting hurt. So I don't like watching those, and when you're watching a police chase live, anything can happen. For example, earlier this week there was a very popular police chase that people were watching, and towards the end of it, the suspect that was being pursued opened the driver's side door.
About the Rosie big dog? Yeah, I don't give a shit.
While they were still speeding and being chased, they jumped out of the vehicle and hit their head on the pavement, which killed him. So he hit his head on the pavement and then continued to ragdoll across the concrete, the asphalt.
I do hate the Papela emote. I do think that we should... Sometimes I do think about banning it.
And he died from the injuries. That is not a police chase that I would have enjoyed watching.
He doesn't roast you, in my opinion. No, he's just like indirectly mentioning me without mentioning my name because XQC is the one who like made a big deal out of it by saying like I should have been banned for it. And it happened literally a week after he brought it back into the forefront.
So that's just always the risk associated with watching something like that live.
I'm a news broadcaster. The crime aspect of it, the crime component of it is like for funsies in general. Charlie's absolutely right. This is genuinely a part of the and even XQC is right. It's legitimately a part of the risk associated with it because like sometimes inexplicable things could happen, which is why I do it with a delay now. But also on top of that, I cover breaking news from time to time. Why would XQC want you to get banned instead of being relieved you avoided a ban? I don't know. That don't take up with me. Take it up with him. Yeah, there's no way to predict that a dude going 45 miles an hour is going to jump out of the fucking car, but it could possibly happen. It could possibly happen. We can also show the accident on stream. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. I usually, when it comes down to cops arriving with guns on scene, once the car is like stopped completely will immediately push away. I won't show you that stuff. I've covered plenty of police chases. I usually won't show you that stuff because it's like I'm not interested in I'm not interested in showing you, like, even if it's not terms of service violations. Like, I'm not interested in showing you just ridiculous violence for no fucking particular reason. I mean, he said multiple times he didn't want you to be banned. He was criticizing Twitch for banning him over stuff like that. Yeah, I know, except like I've been banned more times than he has, so I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He literally made it seem like there's a double standard. Large content creators do actually benefit from a somewhat of a double standard. There is truth to that. But also on top of that, again, I've literally been banned more often than he has. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about there. The idea that like I'm Twitch's golden boy and they offer me any additional level of protection that they don't actually offer like all the top dogs, okay? When they're moderating the top dogs is silly. But again, it's like Sneeko calling me a soy boy. Sneeko is literally like a third my size and is a Abercrombie and Fitch model, okay? And that mother telling me I'm a soy boy is hilarious. It'll never not be funny. But his audience has to believe that. And the same exact attitude goes towards this as well. People say like, Hasan, you're not an edgy streamer. You're not real. No, I am. I am edgy. It's just not in a direction that you understand or comprehend it. So in your mind, you're thinking I'm only saying the most politically correct shit. No, if I was a more brand friendly streamer, I would have more sponsorships or more sponsorship opportunities even than someone like XQC. No matter how edgy XQC could get potentially, and he is not nowhere near as edgy as other content creators are of similar size. Let's be real. He at least had sponsorship opportunities in the form of Twitch bounties. I was never given Twitch bounties, especially when I was much smaller and would have benefited tremendously from Twitch bounties. Misgift had Twitch bounties. I never did. I never even saw the bounty board. You want to know why? Because ultimately, no matter what happens, when push comes to shove, they don't consider me to be they don't consider me to be a brand friendly entity. But for 18-year-old or like younger than 18-year-old edgy boys, obviously they will never understand that. They think in their minds it's like, nah, dude, you're always saying the woke shit. That's why you're actually brand friendly, and my streamer who says edgy shit and my streamer who says edgy shit is real. You're fake. You're saying nice things, so you can't be edgy. You must be fake. My streamer on the other hand says edgy shit that I agree with. That streamer who gets like significantly more brand sponsorships than you do, he's actually the edgy one. He's actually the real one. It's like, no, corporations care less about misogyny or toxicity of that regard than they do about people who are regularly shitting on their illicit practices. Let's be fucking real. You're way too big of a streamer for bounties. Advertisers can't afford your view count. XC hasn't been offered a bounty since he was more than a 10K Andy. I know, but back when he was a 10K Andy, I never got bounties. I remember because I was like a fucking 5K Andy and Misgive and XQC were getting bounties, but I never was. Part of the reason why I never was is because I was seen, and I know for a fact, by the Twitch marketing team internally as more of a brand risk than they were. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because in the eyes of corporate America, someone who is regularly talking about politics, especially from my perspective, is always going to be seen as more of a brand risk and not a marketable entity than someone who's saying edgy shit. Okay? But, of course, explain that to a fucking 14-year-old and their brain will explode. They're like, what do you mean?
Promoting socialism.
Which is why I don't do that. I wait until it's concluded and know for sure that all parties involved are okay. I don't like to take that kind of risk. Now, a lot of people have said, well, why don't you just, go back 2 or 3 minutes into the stream so that way you're on a delay. So if something like that does happen, you can just exit. It doesn't really make it any better, because then I'd still know that the person there dies from whatever happens towards the end, and that whole chase was leading up to a tragedy. That wouldn't feel good. There's nothing entertaining there. That shit just sucks at that point. So I just always like to make sure that any chase I watch is one that has resolved in a fashion where nobody's seriously injured or anything like that. And I wanted to explain that because this happens every single day now, since police chases are so common in LA, since I guess that place out there has turned into fucking Twisted Metal. I guess every single day you're on the road, you're taking the risk of getting
manufactured as drama. Charlie just drama baiting. They showed it on TV. Yeah, I mean, my man watches true crime on stream. We
Drama
can't watch live
baiting.
chases because they're morbid. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the same opinion on this as Charlie does, even though I do believe that like showing you know, gross, awful shit live as it's happening is not a good practice.
Something showing on the series
for that
is
reason,
totally
I try
different
to,
than
to the
live.
best of my ability, hide that sort of stuff when it's like police brutality that we're covering that isn't even like literally fucking happening in real time, but happened in the past. I have a different metric for that I think is even more strict than television is, you know? Yeah, I don't like black trauma is a good example of this. Exactly. I mean, this is just his own preference. Will this be annoying in the near future? With like whenever there is something that I cover, for example, will people come in and be like, dude, you're doing it again. You're showing live shows. Probably. It's got like 2 million fucking views on it. But I you know, who cares? I don't. But you know, I will still keep watching most likely, and I will watch with a delay. I think that what's black trauma? Like when black people die in the hands of police, and then they like show the fucking corpse of the black person that is like dying or being brutalized in the hands of the police, like openly. There are obviously you know, instances where I show you certain aspects of it, especially when it's important. And there are always going to be instances where I fuck up. It is what it is. But, you know what my rule of thumb is on stuff like this. You know, a lot of the reality that we experience is infinitely traumatic, endlessly traumatic. There's not really much you can do. I don't understand this. Why are all individuals held to a higher standard than giant media companies with 10x the audience? And we're just trying to self-regulate, I think, and there's like a little bit of discourse around it. I mean, the way you do it is pretty tasteful. It's not like you're taking the piss out of crimers, most are on the cops, and also doing it in such an educational way. I do get Charlie's point. Like, if you were grilling them a new one, and then it ended in their death, but you do it in a way that's news-oriented with some sprinkled fun. Everything I cover, I try to make as entertaining as possible while educational.
And there was an interesting one. I don't know what his positions. So or not so. He said poor things. Jangan biar dia penonton